everybody, it's Ann Kaplan from Mom Me, your mama resource from conception to college, and I am so excited to be here live with you guys. Today, it is Tuesday, it's my Mythbusters day, and the topic that we are talking about this week is sugar. We're talking about desserts, treats, sweets, whatever you want to call it, and because Halloween is coming up, I know what we're all thinking about when it comes to sugar, which is the giant, in my case, with my kids, a giant pillowcase full of treats and candy that my kids are going to be dragging home tomorrow night, and I'm going to have to figure out what to do with. And I thought it was really, really interesting. I posted a poll in the group earlier today about, like, how does everybody feel about Halloween? Are you excited? Are you dreading dealing with the sugar and all that stuff? And so many parents said, hey, I'm totally cool with it, because I get to donate all my extra treats and sweets to the troops, or we have a candy witch who comes and gives our kids a little bit of prizes in exchange for donating their candy and all of that stuff, which I think is awesome and great solutions and great creative. And of course, donating candy to the troops, donating anything to the troops is awesome. But I just want to point out that if you are using one of these tools to, like, get a lot of this candy away from your kids, it's because, of course, understandably, you don't want your kids to have a giant pillowcase full of candy. And who could blame you? I don't either. So regardless of how you're approaching Halloween or how you have come up with a little life hack to deal with all that sugar, it still is the case that we all know that sugar is not that good for our kids. It's something we want to teach them probably healthier attitudes towards than what maybe we were raised with. And we all have hang-ups about sugar and trying to figure out how to deal with them. And one of the reasons why these life hacks are so handy is because it basically takes the problem of moderating our kids' exposure to sugar out of our hands. It erases that problem by making it so we don't actually have that candy around to even think about. So what I want to talk about today, Tuesday, my Mythbusters day, let's talk about sugar. Let's talk about treats. Because you're going to see as the week goes on, I'm going to be talking about sugar and our attitudes towards treats and indulgences and sweets and desserts and however you want to talk about it, and how we can teach our kids better ways to think about that. How can we set boundaries about that? How can we stop the constant nagging and whining for sugar and treats and dessert? All of that stuff. But it all starts, as you guys know, with mindset. That's why the week always starts off with a Mythbuster, because I want to jog you guys and push you a little bit on how you're thinking about these topics, so that on Thursday, when I give you my tips and tricks, you're already going to be ready, because you're already going to have been thinking about all of this stuff and be ready to implement. So I want to start these Mythbusters the same way I start them every week, which is myth number 1. You're a bad mom. You're a bad mom if your kids have treats. You're a bad mom if you give them all their candy. You're a bad mom if you don't take their candy away and give it to the troops. You're a bad mom if you let them have access to all that sugar. You're not a bad mom, you guys. If you watch these videos, I can almost categorically say you're not a bad mom, because the only reason you're watching them is so that you can do better. And by wanting to do better, you already are. As I say always, you're only a bad mom during those moments when you're worried you're being a bad mom. So giving our kids treats, giving our kids exposure to sweets and sugar and all that stuff does not mean you're a bad mom, okay? Myth number 2, this myth, sugar is evil. Sugar is the devil. I have heard this so many times from my clients. I have friends who moderate their kids' exposure to sugar and sweets like you would not believe. And I'm not talking about my friends and clients who have diabetic children, who obviously need to be very carefully monitoring those things for their children's health reasons. I'm talking about moms who just have decided that sugar is bad and my kids aren't going to have it. They don't get to have a birthday cake at a birthday party. They don't get to have any desserts or whatever. The only kind of sweet or treat in their house is fruit. Nothing wrong with that, but I do really think that when we have an all or nothing attitudes towards anything in this life, we're really setting our kids up for a high standard that's unsustainable. Like, I can't sustain that standard for myself. So if I can't sustain it for myself, I'm not going to be expecting my kids to be able to sustain it for themselves either. And I don't think that I'm modeling or teaching them really great lessons about how to handle this stuff when it's their turn to be on their own in the world. by having a unilateral all or nothing approach to anything, including sugar. Which brings me to my last myth that I want to bust for you, which is sugar is benign. Sugar is nothing. It's no big deal. Let our kids have sugar. Of course, we know that that's not true. We know that sugar is not good for our kids. We know that sugar is not healthy for them. And this week, what I really want to challenge you and push you to think about is not just sugar in general, but I really want to talk about this week is what we call in our house, in the Kaplan house, treats. Meaning, when you ate your dinner, you got a treat. When you did a really good job at this or that, you got a treat. Whatever. If you ate healthy food, every time a carrot passes your lips, the world owes you a treat. That is how our kids would love to think about sugar and what we've had to work really hard to shift their thinking about. So it's not that sugar is bad or good. Sugar is a neutral circumstance. If you guys are working with me one-on-one, you already know. That's a little buzzword, neutral circumstance, because we like to use a self-coaching model to shift our thinking about things and get different results. If you're charged up and emotional and having really high energy thoughts about sugar, you are going to back yourself into a corner where you're trapped in a power struggle with your kid about it, and you're not going to be getting the results you want. Almost always, when we push against our kids about something because we have a huge, huge desire for that outcome, we're almost always going to wind up getting the exact outcome we are trying desperately to avoid. And sugar is no exception. So I want you to be challenging yourself this week to think a little bit differently about how you model and discipline your kids around sugar, because that is the thing that we can shift, and that is the thing that can actually get different results, different understanding, different realizations from our children about something that, let's face it, can be a huge problem for us as adults. We don't want that for our kids. It's totally understandable. But let's talk about how we are going to actually help our children not get caught into that trap. And that's what this week is going to be about. Before I let you go, I want to say one more thing, which is Thursday is the day that I have set aside the entire morning just for you guys. I am offering free 30-minute strategy sessions and problem-solving sessions all around the problems of parenting and discipline. So if you're frustrated in dealing with parenting challenges in your life, take me up on my offer. I still have a few spots available. I'm going to be doing sessions all morning long just on parenting and discipline problems. So reach out to me. Just all you need to do is comment on this video, and I will reach out to you and set up your session for you. Still got a few little spots open, and I'm really excited to meet with all the people who have set up their sessions. I'm impressed with how amazing the response has been. And I'm ready to be there for you guys and get some real problem solving going for you guys about whatever parenting challenges you're having, whether it has to do with sugar or something completely different. I love you guys so much. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Bye.